Hey guys, Jerem Dastrup here with Dental Intelligence, and it's great to be with you once again. I'm excited to have our guest on again, Dayna Johnson, a certified DENTRIX trainer and a dear friend and colleague of mine. And in our last session, she talked a little bit about some of the features inside of DENTRIX that allows you to close a month strong and start the next month strong, and always be aware of those things that you need to know and be aware of to make the best decisions in your practice. And I am really excited on today's topic. This is one that resonates very, very close to my heart and who I am as a person. And it really has to do with goals. I was taught as a young person that if we don't have goals that we are focused on and working towards, then we really just wander in life, making very little impact in those that we come across with. And as a dental professional, if you don't know as an individual where you are going, then most likely your practice as a whole doesn't know where you're going. And the impact that you have on patients' lives may be minimal. And I'm really excited for her to take you through the importance of using DENTRIX and setting and making sure that your goals individually and collectively as a team are in DENTRIX, and you're using the tools that are there to help you along the way and achieve those goals that you've set. So Dayna, without further ado, I'll turn it over to you. I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerem. Super excited. And I'm the same way. I started in dentistry, my first dental practice, and why this topic is so near and dear to me is I'm a numbers girl, and I kind of started off that way. The first dental practice I ever worked for up in the state of Washington, the first doctor I worked for, we were working with a consulting firm, and, we would have our annual planning meetings, and I'd never been exposed to that before. And I'll never forget, we were working with a consulting company, one of the large consulting companies that's still out there today. And we were doing our annual planning meeting, and the dental consultant had the big flip chart, and we were talking about planning our goals and the doctor goals and the hygiene goals, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. And it was just a kind of an aha moment about, I really want to do that. And so it took me about 20 years to get there, but I did. But what I took from that dental practice, that experience of learning about goal setting and forecasting, and how can I help my dental practice be as profitable as possible, because the more profitable we were, the more money I made. And that was really important to me. I was 24 years old, 23, 24 years old. I had already bought a house when I was 20. And so making money was really important to me. And when I figured out that goal setting and forecasting and making goal was going to help me make more money and help my practice be more successful, I was on board. And so over the next few years, I really dove into that a lot more. And so, just a little bit more about me is I started using DENTRIX in 2003, in my second dental practice. So the second dental practice I went into, I will never forget, and I tell this story, I love this story. I went to work for my second dental practice up in the state of Washington, and I was sitting down with the office manager, who was actually a doctor's wife, which is really common. Sitting down with the doctor's wife, she's the office manager. We're going over like the employee manual, and we're talking about like the 401k and the vacation days, and where do we park and what do we wear and all that stuff. And at the end of our meeting, I'll never forget, at the end, she said to me, "Oh, and by the way, the doctor hasn't received a paycheck in over 4 months." And I was like, oh my gosh, no pressure, right? And so I took my goal setting and my numbers skills from my previous office and put them into work. And so now, I've been in dentistry for over 25 years. I became a certified trainer in 2005. And so I've taken those skills into my next practice, and then into my consulting and training business. And so I've loved it. I love numbers. I'm a numbers geek. I love spreadsheets. I know that sounds weird, but and it's probably why Dental Intel and I get along so well, is because I'm a numbers geek. And so, but numbers tell a story about your practice. They help you to help you write that next chapter, help you get to the outcome that you are trying to attain. And numbers help you drive your systems. And I'm always talking about being open, honest, and transparent about numbers with my doctors that I work with. Because a lot of times doctors are afraid to talk about numbers because they feel like they're exposing themselves too much. They're telling their team things that are private. And I think that when doctors and practice owners are more open, honest, and transparent about the practice numbers, you bring on your team members as stakeholders in your practice. They become part owners of that practice. Not in a real sense, but in a mindset. They become practice owners themselves because they feel like they are part of something bigger. And so it is kind of a mind shift when you start wanting to be more open about numbers. But where do numbers, numbers help you forecast your production goals so that it gives your team members, your scheduling coordinators, your hygienists information to help them do a better job. And then inside of Dentrix, what you can do is you can set up views to help your hygienists track their own production goals. And so you open up this book to your team, and they help you write the ending chapters. And so you get them on board and help them understand that if they help the practice be more profitable, they will be more profitable. The practice owners will have more money for raises, 401ks, team building activities, bonuses, all those kinds of things. So where do you start? And a lot of times I hear doctors and practice owners, and they're like, oh, we're just going to increase our goals by 20% from last year. Or, I think that maybe $1,000 a day for a hygienist sounds like a good number. And so please don't just pull numbers out of the clouds. Goals should be calculated based on your practice overhead. And so you're going to want to work with your financial planner to determine what those production goals look like, or maybe you work with your accountant, because you do have to work backwards from the practice overhead. Now, this isn't something that you would probably have your entire team involved with. This would be practice owner and the financial planner and the accountant. But what we have to know where to start, because we have to know what numbers to give to our office manager or our team members so that they can enter those goals into Dentrix. And then you can share those production goals with your team. So first thing is that we want to give our team this vision. Why are we setting practice goals? Well, we are setting practice goals because we are a small business. We are in the healthcare industry, but we also are a small business, and we have to treat it like a small business. And so bringing the team into that business mindset will help your team, be better practitioners. It will help them give better care, because if we give optimum care to our patients, the production will follow. but we do have to give our team kind of a guideline. And so that's what we're here to talk about today is we have these goals that were set based on our practice overhead. They were put together between the practice owner and the accountant or the financial planner. We know that these are good practice goals because they are based on our staff salaries or our practice overhead, so that we know that we are going to be profitable if we meet or exceed these goals. So how do I add our goals into DENTRIX? First, go to the office manager, then click on analysis, and then click on practice, and then click on setup, and then click on setup practice goals, okay? Walk through those steps. Those are the keystrokes to get to setting up your practice goals into DENTRIX. So then your schedulers, your hygienists, and your team can see where you are for the week, for the month, for the day. And then this is what it looks like as soon after you open up the practice goals setup, okay? So in DENTRIX, what you want to do is select your provider first. So if you want to set up your hygiene goals first, click on the little arrows next to the provider, select your first hygienist, click on that read selected goal. Whoopsie, I didn't mean to go there yet. Click on that button that says read selected goals. And then in that little area where it says goals, year and month. So if you're going to start, like say you're going to start January 1st of 2021. And let's say that you are going to put in your goals for January through the first quarter of 2021. Then you would enter the year 2021, and then you would click on add, and January would be month 1, February is month 2, March is month 3. So you click on add, you enter in your provider's month, and what is that provider's gross production. And so, you know, back in the day when I was working in a practice, my doctor would give me the goals for him, the doctor. I would also then have the daily goals. So the doctor would be able to give me the daily goal for the doctor, the associate doctor, and each hygienist. And so then what I would do is I would have to then put like out on a monthly calendar, I would have to calculate based on the total number of days that each of my hygienists were working. And then I would have to calculate what their monthly production goal was. So for example, if I have a hygienist that her daily goal is $1,500 a day, and then and she works, 10 days in that month, then her monthly goal would be $15,000 for that month. So you just have to calculate how many days is that hygienist or doctor working to calculate the monthly goal. All right. So that's how you actually enter the goals. So do that for all of your producers, your doctors, your associates, your hygienists. Next, then, where will you see the goals in DENTRIX? And so this is probably my favorite spot because this really helps your schedulers. And so in the upper left corner of DENTRIX, you have a little calendar. When you click on the calendar, then you get the monthly calendar. Most of you probably use it for, advancing through the different months to help schedule a patient. But if you click on the little tab there that says scheduled production, it will show you how much production you have scheduled each day. And then where it's circled there, you'll see that this office, so this is a tutor database. This is my tutor database. It's a practice database. And of course, I don't have as much data as you guys do. And so in this scenario, this practice has $1,470 scheduled. Their monthly goal is $91,000. So they are pretty short of goal. So, in a normal situation, it might show that you have, you know, $85,000 scheduled, and your monthly goal is $91,000, and you might be short by $6,000, you know. So this is a really great snapshot of scheduling. So when you're scheduling, this is a really great way to see, okay, am I at goal for the month? Am I at goal for each day? It's really a great option for helping your schedulers to see. I also love this for the hygienists. And so one thing to really remember when you're looking at this view here on this monthly calendar is that it calculates the production and the goal based on the providers that you have selected in your view, okay? So if you're looking at this little monthly calendar, see at the top, kind of in that brown bar where it has calendar for DDS1, HYG1, that means it's calculating the production and the goal for those two provider IDs, okay? So what I would recommend is having a view set up for each of your hygienists so they can look at what is my production goal and how much do I have scheduled for the month. And so you could set up a view for your hygiene room so that each of your hygienists could see their individual goal. I think that's really helpful, very powerful for your hygienists to see where they are for the day and where they are for the month. The next place that you will see the goals in DENTRIX is on the daily huddle report. So this is one of my favorite reports in DENTRIX. I know Dental Intel has an amazing daily huddle. I was working in the practice recently back east, and that was the first time I'd ever seen the daily huddle, and I love the Dental Intel daily huddle. And but this report also is very helpful for seeing the DENTRIX practice goals, because it kind of gives you a snapshot as well. It shows you the production that was completed yesterday. It shows you what do you have scheduled today, what have you completed for the month, what do you still have scheduled for the month, and then it gives you a total. So if I was to end the month today, you know, what would my production be for the month? And then it shows you your month-to-date goals for the doctors and the hygienists and the total practice. And so, you know, I love this report. It's a really great snapshot of the production for the practice, and just really nice summary. It's easy to read. You know, it's just a really great morning or an afternoon appointment if you kind of want to see where you're at. But that's the second place that you will see the goals in DENTRIX when you add those production goals into DENTRIX. So super easy to find. All right, so I think that, like I said at the very beginning, being open, honest, transparent about your practice numbers is a really great way to keep your team engaged with the business side of the practice. You know, sometimes we get so busy with, you know, answering phones and treating patients and things like that. We sometimes need to be kind of brought back into the business side of dentistry, and being able to track your production goals easily inside of DENTRIX is a really great, quick way to do that. And so it's super easy to do. So there is a way that you can stay connected. If you have questions about setting up your goals, if you have questions about, you know, how to even determine what your goals should be, you certainly can reach out to us, reach out to me or Dental Intel about maybe getting some coaching on how to set up practice goals, maybe even how to have some verbal skills with your team, you know, how to maybe run a numbers meeting on your monthly numbers meeting and talk about some verbal skills as to how to, you know, stay connected with your team about practice production goals. I know sometimes I get comments back from practice owners or office managers, and they say, you know, we just don't want to be so production focused. And I go, I get that. You know, I'm not trying to make you be production focused. What I do want to give you are the tools that you need in order to help your practice give optimum care. Because when you do give optimum care to your patients, the production will follow. And if you do know what the score of the game is, then you're more likely to reach that goal. You're more likely to win the game that you're trying to win. You're more likely to write that chapter in the book with that ending chapter that you're looking for. And so when you are open, honest, and transparent with numbers with your team, you know, now you've got a team that surrounds you to help this practice be more profitable. And when you're more profitable, then your team is more likely to be more motivated. You're likely to have less team turnover, and you're more likely to have those team members that are more engaged in the practice and more self-motivated. So super excited about all of your successes. Please stay connected. Here's all the different ways that you can reach out to me. So please reach out to me if you have questions. You can email me, text message me, find me on social media. And I know that Dental Intel is going to provide a link in this YouTube video so that you can get more information about our services. And then you can also leave a comment. If you leave a comment and you want to get back in touch with me, certainly leave a comment. And I look forward to hearing some feedback from you all. So thank you, Jerome, for having me back on.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding? Always. We'll take Dayna Johnson anytime we can. You're just so amazing at what you do. And I want to just take a second and point out a couple of things here. This is a topic that I'm, like I mentioned in the beginning, super passionate about. And I love progress. I love growing myself, but I personally love to see others achieve and grow on their journey, right? And it's such a blessing to be a part of those circumstances when you can witness somebody blossom and realize their potential. I'm absolutely convinced that when a person feels appreciated, they will always do more than what is expected. And it's hard to do that because we all feel appreciation in different ways. However, performance is something that is universal. The performance may be relative to the position, but when they're performing, then you can reward them, you can recognize them, and they feel appreciated. And setting goals is one of those universal languages, right? Like you can set a goal, and I can come in and as a practice owner know within seconds which one of my team members are reaching their goals or not, and I can express gratitude based on just that information. And that will go a long ways. In fact, one of the stories, or I'll say analogies, that always resonates with me when I talk about this is we all want to be a part of a winning team, whatever that is. You know, a hygienist and dental practice, a football team, basketball team, a cheerleading team, a dance team. It doesn't matter, but we all want to win. We all want to be a part of the dynamics that exist in a winning team. But there is nothing more powerful as a team member when you look at the scoreboard and you see points that you put up on the scoreboard. It's one thing to be a part of the team and go, yeah, we won the game, or we won, and you're a part of it. But when you know the impact that you had, the value that you added, and you know, I'll use basketball as an example. You look up at the score and you see that 7 of those points are points that you put on the board, and then as a team you won. Oh my gosh, that is liberating. That is motivating. That is inspiring. And so I challenge you to really take what Dayna has said here to heart. Take the time to make sure your goals are set in your practice management software, here especially DENTRIX, and monitor that. Learn how to follow that and achieve those goals. And I promise you, you'll see potential and realize potential that maybe you didn't even know you had, and a perspective of what you're doing that you've never had. So Dayna, thank you so much. We'll definitely encourage all of our viewers to reach out to you if they have questions. Make sure, guys, you take down this information, rewatch the video. In the summary of the video, there is a link there that you can fill out your information, and Dayna can reach back out to you. and help you achieve those goals. So Dayna from Dental Intel, thank you so very much. And from a friend, thank you.
Thank you.
To all of our viewers, thank you for taking time to listen to our message today.